So then, we're into the last bit of this morning's show. We're asking if you would happily share your man's essence with a friend who is desperate for a baby. Fina, Steph and Elizabeth's thoughts in just a mo. Yours are welcome to the usual number, 02717355555. Yesterday's Daily Star carried just this dilemma on its agony column, but the woman asked to share her man was far from happy about it. Mind you, we don't know whether the friend wants the whole man, so to speak, or just a little pot.
Some of his parts.
Would that affect your decision as to whether or not to share? And as I said before the break, don't be precious, ladies, because we know of a fair few women who've been surrogate mums in this country, and that is sharing on a truly epic scale. But there are some serious issues to consider. If successful, your man would legally be the child's father. If you lent the whole man and he had sex with your mate, the child could even come after him for child support. It's the actual intercourse bit that's relevant there. I suppose the mother of the child, should it be born, could always put father unknown on the birth certificate, I suppose, and that would also stop the child looking for dad when they grow up, which all makes me feel rather uncomfortable. If the wife can swallow it, she'll be giving her friend the greatest gift of all. Right? Actually, swallow it probably wasn't the right phrase there. But you know what I mean. Would you share, Elizabeth?
No, that's
help a friend in need.
Step too close for comfort. A friend who would ask someone to be a donor is totally different than a friend's husband. I don't see how you could ever get that friendship back on track. I really don't. It's just too close.
And yet, surrogacy, you could argue, is far, far closer. I mean, I've interviewed the first surrogate mum, and it was the most extraordinary experience because I came to it with all these prejudices. I suppose the first one was they must be mad, and she was anything but. She just had a huge heart full of love and helped out people.
Well, you often find that if it's the woman that conceives for someone else, it is a family member. Or it's a sister, quite often. And that,
okay.
I think, is really giving. And
so family, yes.
It's somehow
friends,
different,
no.
but when it's your husband, no, I can't. I couldn't do that.
Fina?
Oh no, it's so.
Really?
I find it really cloudy and painful, and the potentials of so much trauma.
But it's...
First of all, please. First of all, I don't think that's a friendly thing to even ask.
Come on, if you're desperate.
No, I don't think it's a friendly thing to ask.
You think
I think the asker is very selfish in this regard because there are other means for her to get a hold of that particular gravy, let's say.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
There's other ways to go. You know, not to make light of the anguish of
but then
wanting the child,
but then you would
be
be getting sperm from a bank. You wouldn't know the person.
Yeah, but honey, you ain't have a man, man.
Okay.
You don't have
the essence.
Oh, the essence. It causes too much
Stefan,
problems.
would you willingly go with a friend of your wife's if necessary?
It's all of the complications and the emotional baggage and the children that come with sex and none of the fun. Well, unless you had a whole different relationship. But then, I mean, there's a really serious side to this, and that is that the sperm donation has become a very complex area now because. When children are 18, they can now find out who their donor is. Is that?
Yes.
I think that's right. Yeah. Which means that obviously very, very few people are now going to sperm banks because it comes with all sorts of
which
other
maybe
troubles.
means that these kind of questions are going to come up more and more often between
absolutely.
friends.
It's also, I mean, I donated sperm, and it was just the most bits of God going on. You go on. I thought it would be a very sort of straight and very sort of sensitive idea. I went along, and there's a gorgeous girl behind the desk, and she gets this pot, and she goes. and then sort of hangs on to it for a bit. And you come back later on and you go like that. And she goes...
I think I'd rather go do it with a friend. Maybe that's just me. Let's throw it open to you. Kirsty, what do people say?
OK, we have Carol first on line 1.
Carol, would it be a yes or would it be a no?
It'll be definitely not. Definitely not. No way. Not in this world, next world, or any world.
To help a close friend have a child, you would shut that door to her?
No, I would definitely shut the door to her because I think a close friend should never ask really and go that far. I think that's going over the mark of a friendship. What happens, like I said before, what happens if the man and me get married, there will be an offspring somewhere. He's going to have to go and see that child. Anything could happen behind closed doors. That's too much headache. Can't afford it.
Now, Carol, thank you. I'm tempted. I'm tempted. It is just like EastEnders. And then everybody died. Boo. Now, I'm tempted to take another call. I have to read you this email from Trinity. My son is 14 and a cheerleader. Those boys in your film were not cheerleaders. They are just dancers with pom-poms. Cheerleaders need to be strong enough to throw girls and catch them. My word, is that what they do? To be amazing at tumbling... That's OK, that's not bad. That's really... Now, that is all we've got time for, I'm afraid, this morning. It is great to have you with us once again, Elisabeth, and make sure you don't miss a minute of the Sarah Jane Adventures over on CBBC at 5:15 every Monday and Tuesday. It's not just for kids. Stefan and Fina will see you tomorrow. Ladies and gents, give it up for the panel. Now, I almost forgot. It's day 4 of National Chocolate Week, and I have a thrill for you, Miss Sladen. That is a chocolate shoe.
Ooh. For me?
For you.
How fantastic.
Isn't that amazing? A work of art.
Stunning. How
I think that's entirely edible from start to finish, and just so you two don't feel left out, particularly Stefan and you little girly man, I've got little goody ones for you. There you go. It's edible, but I would suggest too good to eat.
Oh my!
You'll have to let us know what you think about them tomorrow. Aren't they fad? Absolutely fad.
I'm going to eat it in the car on the way out.
Now, so then, tomorrow's show is going to be shaping up just as nicely as those shoes. So we got Jason Donovan on to celebrate the 6,000th episode of Neighbours. Shoe business. We'll talk telly with critic Kevin O'Sullivan and find out if there's any truth to the saying, what goes around comes around. I hope there is. Thanks for your company this morning. All your calls. To see you at 9:15 tomorrow.